I'm sure that you've heard of the golden rule, right? But do you know who first gave that golden rule? Well, it was Jesus. In fact, you can fact check me with your pew Bibles. He gave it in both Matthew 7:12 and 6:31. It goes something like this: "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you." This is kind of at the heart of both kindergarten lessons, and I've actually heard it quoted in engineering school as well. So I'm curious where you've heard the golden rule quoted as well. Well, it goes something like this or something like this: "Do to others as you would have them do to you." I actually couldn't find a version of the Bible that had this exact familiar version of "do unto others as you would have them do unto you." The closest I could get was "do to others as you would have them do to you." The only version of the Bible where I could find that familiar "do unto others as you would have them do unto you" was an obscure version called the Modern English Version, which I don't think is very modern after all, because when was the last time that you said "unto"? The more modern version that I tend to preach from, the Common English Bible, puts it like this: "Treat people in the same way that you want them to treat you." It's very simple. It really cuts to the heart. How do you want to be treated? This is the question that we need to ask. Look, I looked at the plan for this week and I said, wow, this is a very full plan. We're going to share communion. The kids are going to sing. I want to surprise the staff with some appreciation after Laity Sunday. But don't worry, we can make this really simple. Even though I've never ever preached this passage before, can you believe it? But then again, if you were to preach one Bible verse per week, it would take you nearly 600 years to get through the entire Bible. Even if you wanted to do one chapter per week, which is way too much material, it would take you 25 years to get through the entire Bible. So no matter that we don't have very much time today, it is just that simple. The question becomes, how do you want to be treated? Think about how you want to be treated. Like, seriously, think about that and come up with a word. Over these next 5 weeks, I'm going to challenge you to come up with one word describing how you would like to be treated. And then I'm going to go through a series of words that I have a feeling are the ways in which you would like to be treated. But we can't leave it there with simply how we want to be treated. No, the more important part is the follow-up question. How can you treat people that way? We don't get to sit back and say, well, I really wish that they would treat me a certain way. We can't control them. We can only control ourselves. We can control the way that we treat people, and it can be built up out of our faith in Jesus and knowing exactly how we want to be treated. Well, I told you that it's recorded by Luke, as we already read, but it's also recorded by Matthew as well. Matthew puts it like this: "In everything, do to others as you would have them do to you, for this is the law and the prophets." So very similar, still has that "do to others as you would have them do to you," but the Matthean Jesus adds an extra clause in there: "This is the law and the prophets." So what Jesus is saying here is that it truly can be that simple. I know it sounds overly simplistic to just say, do to others as you would have them do to you, but Jesus says that this is how he could summarize the entire Bible of his day. That if we treat others the way that we want to be treated, we're actually fulfilling all of Scripture. That's what the law and the prophets is. It's a shorthand way of saying the entirety of the Hebrew Scriptures of Jesus' day. So you might think it's overly simplistic, but you don't need to believe me. You can believe Jesus. This is what we really need to focus on. And by the way, even if it's really simple, if it cuts to the heart, then it's most certainly worth doing. So, this fall, you've got choices. This election season, you've got choices. But might I suggest a different sort of campaign? A campaign for kindness. One in which we truly do unto others as we would have them do unto us. Throughout this series, you're going to be seeing this very simple piece of artwork that's got some very subtle messages in it and a few more overt ones as well. This piece of artwork, this logo, this graphic, was developed by Resurrection, a United Methodist Church in Kansas City. But guess what? It's being used by churches really all around the globe right now because we all recognize that we could use a little bit more kindness in our homes, in our neighborhoods, in our schools, in our workplaces, and yes, sometimes even in our churches. Now, you're smart people, so you've already figured out some of the symbolism that's here, but I just want to highlight a few things. You might see a heart. At the heart of our faith are all of these emotions and actions that we typically ascribe to the heart. Ones like kindness and compassion, empathy, respect, humility, love. So you'll see the heart, but what's important is how the heart's made up. Yes, that is Republican red and Democratic blue in there. And if you even tilt your head just ever so slightly, you can see a silo, either one with a red top or one with a blue top made out of the lobes of those hearts. But just like every kindergartner knows that the golden rule is to do unto others as you would have them do unto you, every kindergartner also knows that mixing the primary colors of red and blue form purple in the middle. So in the purple zone, we don't always change people, but it's in the purple zone that we find kindness and compassion. It's in the purple zone where we find respect and humility. It's in the purple zone that we find love. The purple zone doesn't necessarily mean that we change everything of who we are, but in the purple zone, that's where we make our world a better place. So, those features of this artwork are a little bit more subtle, but just in case you're not a very subtle person, in case you like to be really direct, it's got the reminder of do unto others. Matthew 7:12, Luke 6:31. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, the beginning of that golden rule. And we feel so strongly about this that we've got one of these little stickers here for everyone who is here. Each person should take one of these. They're going to be out in the lobby after this service. If you're watching online, come in this week and pick one up. If you can't make it here, let us know in the chat and we will mail you one. We really want you to have one of these. And the reason why I'm accentuating you, that we've got enough for you, is because you can't give it to them and say, I really wish that you would do unto me as I would like to be treated. No, you're not responsible for them. You're responsible for you. You're responsible for the kindness that you put out into the world. So you can't passive-aggressively hand this to someone and say, I really wish you would do unto me as I want to be treated. So take it. Place it in the middle of your steering wheel if you're prone to road rage. I hear you out there. Place it on the back of your phone or maybe your computer if you're prone to posting angrily or emailing angrily. Post it on that big old coffee mug or water bottle that you take with you everywhere you go, and quit it with the elbows out there. Look, people already know who they are, all right? You don't have to do that to your partner. But take one and place it where you need to be reminded to do unto others as you would have them do unto you.